tune called End Over End. That's one of the heavier moments on that record. This is the title track. This is a song called Wolves. I wanted to write a song, like I said earlier, this is a song about me reflecting on my problems, my addictions, my vices, my roadblocks. And I started writing a lot of verses about trying to get help, trying to reach out to somebody, admitting that I have a problem, but all I could do was write verses. I couldn't write a chorus, I couldn't write a hook, I couldn't write something catchy. And then I came to this amazing realization that it's almost impossible to write a catchy song about getting sober. Like there's no song out there about like having a glass of water and being responsible that you hear in like the back of a Ford truck commercial. So I did what any kid from the state of North Carolina would do. I made an obscure ACC basketball reference right in the middle of the chorus. I went to North Carolina State University, home of the Wolfpack. We are extremely mediocre in every athletic endeavor we ever try to do, especially since the 80s. It seems like when we won a championship in 83, I was born in 84, and we have literally always been about 5th place in everything we do, which is it teaches you, it builds some kind of resolve in a person. But my freshman year, we had this kid from Harlem, New York, 6'6", shooting guard, number 24, Julius Hodge. And he was this ray of hope. He was this really, really talented kid who would later go on to be the ACC Player of the Year. He would later get drafted by the Denver Nuggets. He was the guy. And we had to play Duke University, who was #1 in the country that year. And we played him in Raleigh, and we beat him. Julius had a hell of a game. And after the game, ESPN runs up to him and puts a microphone in his face and says, "Julius Hodge, how does it feel to beat the #1 team in the country?" And this is his moment. This is his moment to say something so profound on national television that it finally puts NC State athletics back into the spotlight. And so he ponders a moment, and then he looks deep into the camera. He looks in the home of millions of people who are watching the live 9 p.m. primetime game on ESPN, and he says, "When we hungry, we eat." And that was it. That was all he said. He ran to the locker room, and it's great. You can YouTube it right now. Julius Hodge, "Hungry We Eat." Because the best part is not what he said. It's the reaction of the ESPN analyst after he said it. Because the camera pans back to the ESPN analyst who's just standing there, and he says, "Well, there you have it, Tom. Julius Hodge, when he's hungry, he eats." Back to you in the studio. And so I took that line and I put it into a song. And I wrote the song, I wrote the hook. I finally had this big kind of anthemic chorus for a song about recovery, for a song about addiction. And I knew that I couldn't release it unless I got Julius's permission, his blessing. So I did what anybody would do when you're trying to get in touch with a celebrity. I sent him a Twitter message. I said, "Hey Julius, I wrote a song about you, BJ, sent." And my wife looks over my shoulder and she says, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "What?" She's like, "That's the creepiest fucking message you could have ever sent a stranger." I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It was his name, it was a declarative sentence, and then I signed it, salutations." And she said, "No, let me read that back to you in the creepy man voice." "Hey Julius, I wrote a song about you, BJ." I was like, "Yeah, that's fucking creepy." I immediately regret it. And then that was the day I learned one of the most valuable lessons I've learned in my entire adult life. You cannot take back a Twitter message. You can't unsend a Twitter message. It's out in the ether until he reads it and then judges whether or not he responds to it. But it was only out there for about 2 minutes of uncertainty, and then he responds back, and he says, in a very Julius way, it was just, I opened it up and it just said, "That shit's fire, son." And instead of the word fire, it was just 3 flame emojis. And that's how I knew that Julius appreciated the song. And since releasing the song, me and Julius have become friends. We've hung out a few times, and he digs the song. And so it made my day that I got his permission, and that I finally had my song, and I finally had a title track for this record. And this is a song about addiction and NC State basketball. And if you understand anything about the history of NC State basketball, you understand why addiction goes hand in hand with any state fan. And this is a song called Wolves. since the day I turned 16. Watching my dad fix up cars and the smell of gasoline. I just wish that someone took the time to warn me about those evil things that lie beyond the trees. 'Cause when the wolves are hungry, the wolves are eating. I just wish these wolves would get their clothes out of me. Been any good ever sticking around, but I'll always be the one that'll let you down. Seems like my feet start running before they hit the ground. Just wish they didn't always take me to the wrong side of town. When the wolves are hungry, the wolves are eating. I just wish these wolves get their clothes out of me. When the wolves are hungry, the wolves are eating. I just wish these wolves would get their clothes out of me. The blood on their teeth. They can smell the fear in my bones and hear the shaking of my knees. The beautiful woman, you're sweeter than me. I just wish these wolves would get their clothes out of me.